Okay, so we are live now. We finished our opening prayers. So we are going to continue from where we left yesterday. So we left at where the Rama killed all the Rakshasas and got and thus rid Janasthana of all the Rakshasas. So continuing, Kara and the other two were cousins of Ravana, the lord of Lanka. Hearing about the incidents in Janasthana, Ravana decided to avenge the deaths of his cousins and the destruction of the army and also the insult of Surpanaka. He went to Maricha, a Rakshasa, for assistance. Maricha tried in many ways to convince Ravana of the prowess of Rama and about the dangers of arousing his anger. But Ravana paid no heed to his words. Prodded as he was by fate, Ravana took Maricha with him and arrived in the neighborhood of the ashrama of Rama. With the help of his Maya, at which he was an adept, Maricha lured Rama and later Lakshmana away from the ashrama. And then, when Sita was alone in the ashrama, Ravana carried her away. Jatayu, the king of eagles, was a friend of Rama and he tried in vain to prevent Rama from abducting Sita. He was fatally wounded and Ravana went away with the princess. When they came back to the ashrama, Rama and Lakshmana found it empty. With Sita abducted and with seeing Jatayu who was dying, Rama was beside himself with grief and anguish. He heard about Ravana from the lips of dying Jatayu, and when the eagle died, Rama performed the final rites for him as he would for his own father. The brothers then went southwards in search of Sita. While they were proceeding thus, they were caught in the arms of a gruesome looking Rakshasa by name Kabanda. His arms were a yojana long each, and his head was in his stomach. His mouth was wide open to swallow his victims. Kabanda was in reality the son of Kubera, who had been cursed to assume this form. When he was killed by the brothers, he regained his celestial form and returned to the heaven. Before leaving him, Kabanda told Rama about Shabari, a devotee of Rama who was waiting for the coming of Rama. Kabanda also said that on top of the Rishimukha hill dwelt a Vanara by name Sugriva who would help Rama to find Sita. Rama went to the ashrama of Sabari, was worshipped by her, and he gave her leave to reach the heavens, which she had earned by her tapas. Rama and Lakshmana proceeded on their journey and reached the lake known by the name Pampa. And after passing it, they were wandering around at the foot of the hill Rishimukha. They were accosted by Hanuman, the minister of Sugriva. Hanuman took them to the presence of Sugriva. A great and lasting friendship was formed between the two, Rama and Sugriva, and this was forged by fire which was kindled by the wise Hanuman. Rama recounted to Sugriva about himself and about the misfortune which had befallen him. The abduction of Sita by some Rakshasa, Sugriva came out with a story and the unfortunate condition he was in. Banished from his city by his brother Vali, Rama promised to kill Vali to please Sugriva. The Vanara was dubious about the prowess of Rama and he recounted the many acts of valor performed by his brother. To assure him of his own superior strength, Rama lifted the skeleton of one Dundubi with the tip of his toe and flung it to a distance of 10 yojana. So here we need to see what is a measure of yojana. So one of you, do you want to check and let me know? So we can clarify what
Yojana
is.
is 100 kilometers, I remember.
Do you want to just reconfirm that, please, Surya?
Mm.
Thank you. So, and again, with a single arrow, he pierced 7 glorious Sala trees. Sugriva was ashamed of himself for his lack of faith in Rama and said, "This arrow of yours, as pierced the 7 Salas, split the earth open, and after entering the nether regions, it has returned to your quiver. Never before have I seen such valor. Forgive me for doubting you." They went to Kishkinta, the capital city of Vali. Sugriva called out, to the great warrior Vali and challenged him to come out and fight with him. Rama killed Vali with a single arrow and established Sugriva on the throne of the dead Vali. Sugriva then summoned his entire army and dispatched his men to all the four quarters to search for Sita. Hanuman, accompanied by Angada, the son of Vali, went towards the south. Then, there, directed by Sampati, the eagle king, who was a brother of Jatayu, Hanuman crossed the sea, which was 100 yojanas wide. He reached the island by name Lanka. There, in the king's pleasure garden by name Ashokavana, Hanuman found Sita, who was kept there as a captive. Thinking only of Rama, the princess was a picture of woe. Hanuman announced himself to her, gave her the signet ring which Rama had sent, and comforted her with words of encouragement. He gave her news about Rama and Lakshmana, and he told her that Rama, assisted by Sugriva and his army, would soon arrive in Lanka and rescue her from Ravana. Hanuman then destroyed the Ashokavana. Ravana sent his army to capture him, but 5 of his commanders and 7 of their sons, as also the brave Akshaya, the son of Ravana, were killed by Hanuman. Indrajit, another son of Hanuman, came and he dispatched the Brahmastra at Hanuman. The Vanara did not want to insult the great Brahma, and so he allowed himself to be bound by the Astra. He was then taken to the court of Ravana. Thereafter, he burnt the city of Lanka and returned to the presence of Rama. He carried with him the good tidings that Sita was alive and that she was a captive of Ravana. Accompanied by Sugriva, Rama came to the shores of the sea. When the Lord of the Seas would not make way for him and his army, Rama was highly incensed and threatened to burn up the entire sea. The king of the waters appeared in front of Rama and asked him to build a bridge across the sea which would take them to Lanka. Accordingly, Nala the architect built the bridge crossing the sea. Rama went to Lanka, killed Ravana, and rescued Sita. However, he spoke harsh words to her. Unable to bear the stinging insults, Sita entered fire. Agni, the god of fire, brought her to Rama out of the flames and told Rama that he should accept her since she was without any taint. The world above and the world of men praised the prowess of Rama. They celebrated the great achievements of Rama. After crowning Vibhishna, the brother of Ravana, as the king of Lanka, Rama made up his mind to return his steps homewards. With the blessings of the Devas and the Vanaras who had died in the war, came back to alive, and there was great rejoicing. In the celestial chariot by name Pushpaka, Rama, along with his friends, proceeded towards Ayodhya. He went to the ashrama of Bharadwaja first to pay his respects to him, and from there he sent Hanuman to Bharata to inform him of his return. Rama then went to Nandigrama with Sugriva. In Nandigrama, he was reunited with his brothers Bharata and Shatrughna. After getting rid of his matted locks, Rama assumed the garment of a king and was crowned king of Kosala. The people were thrilled with the return of Rama, and there was great rejoicing in the city of Ayodhya. Rama rules the kingdom righteously, and there is not a breath of adharma in the rule of Rama. After performing 100 Ashwamedas, Rama will reach the heavens. He will establish Dharma on the earth. He will rule for 11,000 years before he leaves the earth. One who hears this tale of Rama will be assured of a place in heaven. Having recounted the story of Rama to Valmiki, Narada took leave of him and went away from his ashrama. So far what we've read is Narada saying this whole story to Valmiki. Okay, so like you asked Laya, then we are going to read like in detail what happens almost like a day-to-day basis. Understanding what each character is going through is what we're going to look further, starting from the birth of Ravana. So this is the end of chapter 1. So shall I continue? Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
You want me to read further?
Yep,
Okay. So 1 yojana, Surya says, is 12.8 kilometers. So the Rakshasa's arm was 8 miles long. It's what it says, 1 yojana long.
yeah,
When Rama flips Dundubi's skeleton with his toe to 100 yojana, so that's 800 miles.
that's very
Okay, so
powerful.
that was a unit of measure that's used in Ramayana. So we know it's that 1 yojana is 8 miles or 12.8 kilometers. Thank you for that, Surya. Okay, chapter 2, the coming of Brahma. After the departure of Narada, Valmiki was sitting quiet for a while, thinking on the glorious personage Rama, and his mind was dwelling on Rama. The rishi suddenly realized that it was time for him to perform his morning worship, and so, accompanied by his disciple, he went to the banks of the river Tamasa, which was very near to the more famous Ganga. He saw a spot where the water was pellucid, and he stopped in his tracks. He spoke to his disciple and said, Son, the water here is clear and pure like the mind of a good man. Look how beautiful it is. I have decided to perform my ablutions here in this spot. Place the water pot here on the ground and give me the tree bark. The disciple did as he was bid. With the Valkala in his hand, at the rishi looked all around him, his eyes pleased with the beauty of the surroundings. He took a few steps here and there and smiled to himself as he saw how lavish Mother Nature had been in her bounty in this particular place. Looking up at a tree, the rishi saw a couple of crownchair birds. They were singing happily in their sweet and melodious voices, and they were very much in love with each other. They were making love, and Valmiki's eyes rested on them with tolerant amusement. Even as he was looking, he saw the male Krauncha fall down, hit by an arrow. Valmiki saw a hunter, sinful and cruel, who had just shot an arrow at the bird. The bird was lying dead on the ground, drenched in blood, and the female Krauncha was wailing piteously, and her joyous song of a moment ago had turned into a mournful dirge. The small bird with its red head was full of sorrow. Valmiki saw the cruel act of the hunter and its sad consequence, and his heart was filled with compassion. He knew what an adharmi the hunter had been, and he spoke in an impassioned voice. Have you been merciless in your action? You have been merciless in your action. You killed one of these two birds when they were making love. Your act is unforgivable. You will therefore be denied the long span of life granted to man. Valmiki then turned away from him and left the spot in a hurry. His heart was still full of sadness, and he thought over the incident long after he had gone away from there. He kept remembering the words he had spoken to the hunter, and he repeated them in his mind. He told his disciple, I was very sad because of what had happened to the crownchair birds. And I spoke some words. Born as they were out of my sorrow, these words are so arranged that they follow a meter. They seem to form a shloka, which can even be sung to the accompaniment of the drone of the veena. I am amazed at the shloka which I have seemed to have composed. The disciple learnt the shloka, and when he repeated it, there was a wonder at the formation of it. Valmiki then entered the river and performed the ablutions, the worship of the sun, and all the daily rituals. But his mind was all the while dwelling on the shloka. They returned to the ashrama, the rishi in the lead and the disciple carrying the water pot filled now with the pure water from the tamasa. Valmiki entered the ashrama and with his other disciples pursued with them the study of the sacred lore. While he was thus engaged, he found the hermitage filled suddenly with a heavenly glow. He looked up and saw Lord Brahma himself standing there. He got up with a feeling of awe and stood with folded palms. He could not speak a word, so overcome was he with the suddenness of it all. He then worshipped the Creator in the proper manner, fell at his feet, and offered Agya and Padya and a befitting seat. You know what Agya and Padya is? So it's a ritual to welcome guests where the guests' feet are washed and he is welcomed with great respect. Okay. So Brahma honored him by accepting his homage and the seat offered by him. After seating himself at the command of Brahma, Valmiki sat silent and his mind was pondering on the event of the river bank. He could not still grasp the cruelty of a hunter who could deliberately kill the happy bird without any cause whatever. Again, the shloka came to his mind and he repeated it to himself silently. Brahma smiled at him and, divining his thoughts, said, "Do not wonder any more about the words you spoke. It is a shloka, and there is no doubt about it. I willed you to speak thus. I want you to compose a great poem in the same meter. Relate the story of Rama. Narada told you the story of Rama, who is famed the world over for his righteousness, for his nobility, his intelligence, his courage. I will grant this boon to you. You will be able to know what passed in the minds of every one of them. Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, and the many participants in the strange tale. In short, there will be nothing which is a secret withheld from you. You will know everything what happened and every thought in the mind of each of them. In this kavya which you are going to compose, there will not be a single word of untruth spoken. I command you to relate to the world of men the sacred story of Rama, set in the same meter in which you compose the sloka you are thinking about, the Anushtup meter. The world will be the richer for the composition of yours. As long as the story of Rama is remembered in the world, you will also be remembered. Your name will be immortal because of what you're going to do. Brahma vanished from the presence of Valmiki after he had spoken these words. Valmiki was still in a daze, and so were his disciples. They repeated the shloka again and again, and with each repetition, the wonderment grew. I'm going to stop here. Let's have a discussion. Um, so, okay. I have a question.
Okay.
So, as I said, the first chapter, who was telling the entire story of Rama to Valmiki?
I forgot his name.
The son of Brahma, the sage
Narada.
Narada. Okay. So, Narada was telling the story of Rama because Valmiki asked him about whom? What was Valmiki wondering about when Narada came and told the story?
There's a perfect
Like
person.
person.
If
Yeah.
there is a perfect human being, right? If there is a perfect human being, if that is even possible, he wanted to know. And so Narada said, yes, there is, and told the story of the whole story of Rama. Then the chapter 2 that we just read is the coming of Brahma. We've completed chapter 2. So Brahma comes and visits Valmiki where? In which place?
I keep like forgetting the names and the places.
No, you can say at Valmiki's ashram, right?
Oh, okay.
Valmiki's ashram. So when he went to the river to do his prayers, what happened? Valmiki.
Like
Two birds called the Crownshaw birds. One got hunted, and the other one was so sad. And looking at it, Valmiki became sad, and he cursed the hunter,
hunter.
saying, "What was the curse to the hunter?"
He was saying that why would like a hunter want to kill such a happy bird
Yeah.
for no
Be a little
reason.
bit louder, Laya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he just didn't understand why the hunter wanted to kill the happy bird for no reason at all. Yeah.
And so he cursed him for what? What was the curse?
Um.
That he will not have a long span of life.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Valmiki, what he spoke was kind of in a kind. It sounded like a meter, like the poem. It sounded beautiful, like a meter in a poem, and he was amazed at what he had just created, what just came out of his mouth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when he was worshipping, what happened then? Brahma came to visit him. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brahma came to visit him at his ashrama, and then Valmiki received him properly. And then what did Brahma say? What did Brahma tell Valmiki?
Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you now.
Okay, because you glitched out. What did you say?
What did Brahma tell Valmiki? Who is Brahma, first of all? Who is Brahma?
The creator of
So
everything.
Brahma is the creator energy, right?
Yes.
The one who gives creative energy, right?
Yes.
So he told Valmiki what? He asked Valmiki to write I'm asking the questions to make sure that you're listening actively.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not getting any answer from Surya. So the questions are to make sure that you're listening actively.
I don't really understand what's going on that much.
That's okay. Only when we ask questions, then we can repeat it and make sure that we understand, right? So,
Okay.
Brahma asked Valmiki to write Ramayana. And he said that I'm going to give you all the information, like everything that happens in Rama's life,
Yeah.
even every thought that passes through his mind, the thoughts that passes through his all the characters in Rama's life, Lakshmana, Sita, and all the participants in Rama's story will be revealed to Valmiki.
Okay.
Valmiki. So there is a there is a, oh, how do I say? There's a process called channeling. Okay, channeling is something we can get into the frequency of a particular information that we need. We can channel information from space. Okay,
Yeah.
There are higher beings, and there's information all around us. There's knowledge all around us, which is in space. And when we have a very clear mind, we will be able to channel whatever information we need. Isn't
Okay.
that cool?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Valmiki had this clear head, and these all information make Brahma, the creative energy. So in the story, so we should also look at the energy behind each character. So Brahma is a creative energy. He's a creator. So we call him the creator. He is giving this special ability for Valmiki to be able to, from within himself, for him to uh, what is the word, for him to be able to know what happens in Rama's life, including the thoughts and emotions of each and every person. So he is saying, see this, you were so wondering about what you just said, right? That it sounded so poetic what you just said. I made it happen. I made you speak that. He said that. Okay. So Brahma chose Valmiki to write the story because Valmiki had that, had that capacity to channel that information. So Brahma said, I made you speak that sloka, and I'm going to make it available for you to write many more shlokas in the same beautiful format. You will be able to write it, and you will have all access to all the information about each and every character in the story, so you can write this great poem. So Ramayana was written in the form of a beautiful poem. Okay, and Valmiki wrote it, and Brahma blessed him to have and made all the information that Valmiki needed available for Valmiki to write this great epic. Does it make sense?
Yes,
Yes.
Do you think we can channel information?
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
If we do lots of meditation and stuff.
Okay, that's interesting. So why do you think meditation helps you channel information?
Because you like clear your mind.
So what do you mean by clearing your mind?
Like you only concentrate on one thing,
Uh-huh.
and that
How
like
do you
helps you
concentrate on
think.
one thing?
It helps you like think of that one thing fully.
Okay, I love your answer. So that's the end of chapter 2. Was that interesting?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
So tomorrow's chapter is chapter 3. Valmiki composes the great poem. So he starts writing the poem, is where we're going to continue tomorrow. Let's say the closing prayer before we finish. Okay, so
Okay.
let's sit straight,
Okay.
relax your body. Let's chant Om 3 times. Breathe in. Om. Om. Om.
Mm.
And repeat after me. Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Midam
Purnat
Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnas
Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnamadaya
Purnameva
Purnamevasishyate.
Vashishyate. Om
Om Shanti
Shanti
Shanti Shanti.